Well guys, the Tories are a bit election mode because they're back talking about stopping illegal immigration by sending a never-ending stream of boat wankers to Rwanda, or should we say some of them.
Around 600 came across the channel yesterday. In just a few weeks, this could again reach 1,000 a day.
Now this I don't actually have a great problem with, depending on costs, which, let's be honest, has to be less than the £6 to £8 million a day we're spending on hotels, so it's better than our current situation, but obviously not what it should be. I personally think they should be dumped back in France, or better yet, sent back to wherever they came from, because in my mind, return to sender is always the best option. But before we get too happy about all this, it is the government and pretty piss poor Patel saying it, so everyone should take it with a pinch of salt, likely comparable to the salt found in the Dead Sea, because they're all full of shit 99% of the time. As you likely know, pretty piss poor Patel has talked the talk plenty of times before, but her actions have literally done the complete opposite, so I will remain skeptical about anything she comes out with until it happens. Now, of course, it should be said that some of it I don't agree with and literally never will do one little bit. Take the fact that we'll be paying these people to stay in Rwanda, for instance, which makes me say just send them home.
And given the opportunity to build a new life in that dynamic country, supported by the funding we are providing.
Also, the fact that it will not be all illegal immigrants who are being sent over there makes me say that this is a half measure at best. Yep, some will still be processed here, so I'm not sure how this actually works to deter them coming, as it seems they may have a 50-50 chance of being kept here in the UK. Here in the Sun it states at least one multi-million-pound migrant processing centre will be set up in the north of England to save millions on hotel bills. What they mean there is to save billions on hotels, because that is what we are spending, let's be honest.
People who do make it to the UK will be taken not to hotels at vast public expense. Rather, they will be housed in accommodation centres like those in Greece, with the first of these to open shortly.
Though really, this just means that a shit ton will still be here, even if this Rwanda thing actually works out, so it's more sound bites for Tory voters, not an actual attempt to stop it or anything like that. Plus, I also have to take issue with them setting up a processing centre up in the north of England. Why should they get lumbered with endless boat wankers who shouldn't be here full bloody stop? I actually bet the people up there don't bloody want it being put up there, especially if we're paying Rwanda to take others. I guess though maybe someone who lobbies the government has plans to build an expensive centre up north that people might be able to make a pretty penny on. It's usually the reason these things are done, because it won't be cheaper than building it in Africa, I would bet. Now naturally following this, the media, immigrant-loving lefty tosspots and Labour have come out against it, which really will surprise no one. But what we should talk about is the legal challenges this policy will face thanks to the Human Rights Act.
We expect this will be challenged in the courts. And if this country is seen as a soft touch for illegal migration by some of our partners, it is precisely because we have such a formidable army of politically motivated lawyers who for years have made it their business to thwart removals and frustrate the government. So I know that this system will not take effect overnight, but I promise that we will do whatever it takes to deliver this new approach.
Yes, apparently that still exists, despite the fact that you might remember it was missing like a fart in the wind when it came to our human rights during 2 years of lockdowns and restrictions. Pretty much everything the government did in 2020 and 2021 would be a breach of our human rights in like 10 different ways, but it continued and cost lives, as we have witnessed. So it can stop illegals being deported, but cannot stop a deranged sock puppet government from destroying the country and its people with damaging lockdowns that literally did more harms than good 1,000,000 times over. The Human Rights Act was nowhere to be seen when we needed it, but when it comes to boat wankers or foreign criminals, it's front and centre ready to go. Funny how that one works out, ain't it? So this might never happen, it has got to be said, for anyone who's getting their ropes up prematurely. Now, another thing that pisses me off is how the government and Home Office are trying to pass the buck on illegal immigrant hotel costs with this little bit here which states local councils will be given extra cash to stop the Home Office forking out $4.7 million a day putting asylum seekers up in hotels. So they won't stop forking out this money. What they will do is give it to councils and then blame them for it. Obviously, that is not them dealing with the problem. It's literally making it so people can't blame you. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with the government, full fucking stop. They make the laws as we've seen over the past 2 years, so they could stop it dead in the water if they wanted to. They literally stopped you from going about your daily life, so why can't they stop this? Obviously, they don't want to stop it, and this Rwanda plan, while it might help, is not going to stop shit, as I should have made clear to literally anyone with more than half a brain cell watching this video. So yes, it's good, but let's be honest, it ain't gonna stop nothing, and at the end of the day, I don't trust these fuckers as far as I can throw them. I don't know about you guys. Let me know down in the comments though, I'll be interested to hear what you gotta say.
Well,